felt great, man. Finally got the opportunity to do it, and getting the win makes it feel a lot better. But all credit to the guys that made it possible.
To start this one out with a pretty up-tempo offense, was what was or why did you guys go to that to begin the game to kind of?
We talked about it earlier in the week and wanted to start fast. I don't know if there's a real reason behind it, but started fast and stayed fast, so that obviously worked.
What were the guys saying on the sidelines when they had to review the play at the end of the game? What was going on?
Just got to stay up, stay ready to go. I mean, if they would have scored there, then we would have been to overtime. So, got to stay ready to go.
One of the big things for you guys, you had a lot of key, big plays, significant plays to really kind of deflate the defense and send the momentum your way. Just some of the big plays that you had coming at key timings. How important were those?
I mean, we stress explosive plays and a big amount in our offense. So, made of explosive plays and being able to execute those, it's the way that you keep your momentum on your side and keep it away from them. So those are big plays.
Sam, you came out running the ball. Does that make you a little bit more comfortable out there?
Yeah, I mean, I was a little nervous going into it, but after first few times getting popped a little bit, felt good and settled in. So.
I'm not going to say you're not known as a runner. We saw you run during the spring, but why was that so big? Was that a big part of the game plan today?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it just adds a big dimension to our offense, me running the ball, and it keeps the defense on their toes. So being able to do that and running with our running backs and then spread it around like we do, I think will be trouble for some defenses.
What kind of relief was it to just finally break the Missouri down and finally get a win?
Really good, man. I mean, go 5 games without a win and then finally being able to get one at home. It's a very, very good feeling.
What was the week like for you? Did you know on Monday you were starting this weekend?
Yeah, I found out Monday morning, and then the week was just being prepared and mainly just getting myself right and focusing up on the defense and putting myself in position to play well.
How did you stay focused on having this opportunity when, there had been situations where he had gone with DeSomer, may have gone with you? How did you stay up and stay positive?
I mean, I went through a little bit last year, at the beginning of the year when I didn't win the job, and then this year, obviously, but being able to trust in my faith and kind of just trust the process and just knowing that when my time would come, it would be good. So being able to just really trust that there was a plan out there and when it came to execute it.
Can you tell me about the toss on practice? You just kind of lobbed it up to him. Did you see the 2 defenders on him and knew it had to throw it high?
Yeah, I mean, it was nothing like our receivers are good, and when we give them an opportunity to make big plays like that and throw the ball up and let them go use their athletic ability, I mean, that's what we did all of last year. So being able to do that again today was big.
You were able to run the ball pretty well with the running backs. How big was the offensive line today as far as
the O-line was huge. They were awesome today. I mean, couldn't ask for better guys. They protect their butts off every day, and I love them. They're awesome.
Anything else? Just how do you build on this for next week and try to finish the season with 2 more wins?
I mean, you obviously want to win these next 2 games, and they're big games to not only finish out the season and the seniors' year on a high note, but to build into next year. So very important games, and being able to win this one definitely puts us in a good momentum going into next week.
Those last couple of seconds, thinking you won and then having to go back out there mentally, how do you guys deal with that?
I mean, this year's just been a rough year overall, so it's just adversity. I was ready. The team was ready. We stayed on the field the whole time. We didn't go to the sideline or anything. We just took a knee because as soon as they said it, we just like, we just got to play the next play and really overcome. So that's all it was, really. We just overcame and went to the next play.
How much responsibility did your defensive line take today to try to get to the quarterback and make a difference today?
Yeah, that was a big emphasis going into the game. Number 15, the quarterback, I mean, he's really good. He's quick, shifty, can throw the ball. I mean, he's a pretty big guy. A couple times I hit him out there. I mean, he kind of shed it off me. So that was like a big emphasis this game. We just wanted to go out there and bang him up a lot because we knew that he was the heart of the team. And I felt like we did the job.
How hard was it to rush him when he could escape and go? He was so fast, he could get 10 yards down the field.
It was
out of the pocket.
It was difficult, man. I must say it was difficult. He was so fast. A couple times I got around the edge, and by the time I spent back around into the other gap, he was already gone, like, out of arm's reach. So, I mean, he was pretty fast, but we did what we had to do to finish the game.
You were extremely good on third down. What was it about, just executing there, getting off the field today? How important was that for you?
Well, I mean, a lot of the time on third down, it was third and long. The defense executed the whole game. It was probably like 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15. They had holding calls and stuff, so I knew, they were going to throw the ball, so I was ready. First down and second down, it was more so of a quarterback draw, run, stretch, all that stuff. So when third down came, I knew that's my strength, and I knew that's our strength as a team, so we got to it. We got to the quarterback.
How was it being on the sideline after second half? A lot of them used the ball, not necessarily
It was tough. A couple of drives, we're out there. It was third down, 3rd and long, and we're supposed to get off the field, and they called pass interference. I mean, that was really tough because we were giving it all we had, get that 3 and out because we got a lot of them early, so they kept calling pass interference. So really, we just kept overcoming, coming to the challenge and completing whatever we had to do.
DeAndre, you had 2 interceptions in the first 3 minutes of the game.
Sacks.
And 2 interceptions as well.
I didn't have any interceptions.
I mean, the team.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I'm sorry.
Not you at all. But for the team's confidence, forcing turnovers, how to feel like that defense.
It felt great, man. It felt really great. When we got those 2 picks at the beginning of the game, I knew it was going to be a really good game. We went in 2 touchdowns, I think, in the first half, and we came back out, man. We started getting a lot of calls on us, so, we just had to keep working through all the adversity, man. Like I said, this whole game was just adversity. Like, it was so many challenges out there, man. I don't think I've ever been a part of a game where it came down to the wire like that over a long stretch of, like, time with the plays and we were up so much. I just didn't expect for it to come down to what it came down to, the last second on the 4-yard line. So.
You guys play so many young guys on defense, especially. Being one of the better, are you saying anything to the guys of those last minute or so when South Dakota's driving down the field?
Yeah, definitely. I'm one of the vocal guys on the team, so I try to keep the guys pumped up every time we go out there and let them know, like, we got to do what we got to do for the offense. We really try to tell the offense, we're going to go out there and handle us, so y'all got to come out there and help us too. I mean, really, that's all it is. I just try to uplift as much as I can, try to be a leader of the team.
You've had some tough luck at the end of games. You're up 7, and they go right down the field. How much were you going through? Here we go again, or we just got to get one stop and get this game over with?
No, I didn't have the "here we go again" thought. It was more so we got to get back out here and make another play because I knew, the sacks and the picks, we had a really big game this game. Turnovers, but it just seemed like they just kept coming back for more and more. So really, all I was just thinking, like, we just got to go out here and complete the task. Yes, sir.
Every single third down, you've been a score or 2.
Yeah.
How tough is that at the Valley as a whole this year?
Yeah, it's been really tough, man. Just knowing the only game that was a double-digit game was you and I. Other than that, every game has been a single-digit, 3, 6, 8 points. So it's been really tough, man. It always came down to the fourth quarter. Just thinking back, like, if we could have just got that field goal or just got that extra pick, that punt return, we literally have lost by 1 possession every single game besides you and I. So it's been tough, but I mean, you know, we're here, and you can't look back in the past. We're just going to finish these next 2 games and complete the season the right way for the seniors and the coaches.
Anything else for DeAndre? Make them ready.
Thank you, man. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. All right, don't worry about it. That was all right, Coach. I'm about to go to sleep.
Congratulations, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Coach, do you want to make an opening statement
Yeah.
or just take questions?
I can make an opening statement. Man, it feels good to be in the locker room like that. I mean, you know, we've talked about it. You guys have all been here. I mean, 5 straight losses by 1 possession, you know, and a group of guys that just is committed to keeping on getting better for the program. A senior group that, you know, isn't going to go out the way they want with the playoffs, to come out and have their best week of practice. I think it speaks a lot about the program, the coaches that we have, to beat a good team. I mean, this is a top 25 team that came here and is playing for playoffs. So just proud of the guys. I'm proud of a lot of people. Obviously, we'll take questions. Proud of a few individuals, Sam Straub. I also said it in the locker room, I'm proud of Josh Strawn. I've been in both of those shoes. I've been benched before as a quarterback. It's not easy, but it's part of the job. And you got to be a man, what this program preaches. And he came to work each and every day, helped Sam out on the sideline. That's encouraging to see. Josh Strawn's a great kid. And then Sam has done the same thing since has been here. You know, Sam's a guy that my first recruiting visit was to Ames, Iowa. Passed the recruiting test, headed to watch him play basketball. He's been here for 3 years now, and he's been competing and got better, learned, has become just a lot better quarterback. He's always had physical tools. But to be beat out really 2 years in a row in a quarterback battle, you know, but to stay in it and stay locked in and be sharp, and when your number's called, when you're 0-5 in the conference and 2-6 to play the game that he has, says a lot about Sam Straub. I'm really proud of him.
Why ultimately make that change, though, Nick? I mean, was Josh missing people, or were you unhappy with his performance?
No, you know, when we called him in, it was really a tough decision. I felt like sometimes your team just needs a spark, whoever it is, you know. If you go back to even when we talked about naming the starter, talked about losing sleep over who was better and who we needed to play, and because they both earned it, you know, and both gave their pitch why they needed to be the starting quarterback in game 1. The ultimate stat of a quarterback is winning games, whether you're throwing for 300 yards or whatever. Stats are stats, wins are wins, and we're 2-6, we're 0-5. It was time to give Sam a chance to prove that he could be the guy too. He's a sophomore. We needed to know if he's the guy going forward for our program. And, you know, he came out here and had a really good game.
You going to go with him next week?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Gotta ask.
Yeah.
What do you think about your defense? You know, wasn't that kind of karma? The defense is the one that ends the game for you. Didn't they play a lot better than they have today?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to when you go back. I mean, we still gave up some big plays, but we battled. That's a good offense. You know, that is an explosive offense. It's put up a lot of points in a lot of games. Strebler can beat you over the top, and he can run the football. I mean, he's probably the best athlete in our conference as far as the kid runs under a 4.5. He's strong. So I thought they competed. They tackled. They got turnovers. Obviously, you'd like to see him get a stop where we don't have to go through what we went through at the end of the game. But ultimately, it's all about winning, especially with a team that's lost 5 games in a row by 1 possession. To find a way to win one by 1 possession is huge.
Coach, what did you like your defensive ability to force a couple turnovers early in the game for the first time?
Yeah, I thought it. I mean, we preach about getting turnovers. You know, I see a defense last week gets 3, this week gets 2. I mean, it's big. We weren't able to put points on the board with either turnover early, but you could just feel the momentum. You know, we had a first-year starting quarterback that we were letting, get comfortable, as far as the play calling, and we were just going to take what was there. I thought it's the most balanced we've been, all year. With still at the end, I wouldn't go back and trade anything. I thought we played smart football at the end as an offense. We took time off the clock. We made them use their timeouts even there at the end. I thought one of the biggest things, the smartest play Sam Straub had was at the end. We called a bootleg. I told him if his first look is there, throw it, and pick up the first down. But if not, I don't care if you take a sack or whatever, make them take their final timeout. He did exactly that, took care of the ball. And then I think you got to talk about Nick Neidig, too. I thought he had a really good game, punting, same type of thing, same type of scenario, and really flipped the field a few times for us. And when you're going back, and we're not talking about a lot of people, and we thought we got pressure on the quarterback a lot without blitzing. So, just proud of the entire group. I'm proud of the coaches. This is a group of coaches that comes in every day with the same energy and the same focus that they had in week 1. I mean, it's a full steam ahead to get this thing rolling and get it better, and sometimes you need wins like this. And we got 2 more games. That's what I told them. The expectation is to go on the road next week to Youngstown and get another one. Now that you know what it feels like to be in the locker room, it feels a lot better being in that one than the ones, weeks prior.
Coach, you said you missing that one stop where you had to force the last drive, but you guys at that goal line defense forced 2 plays or basically the end of the game where they could not convert. What do you think your defense just made up for?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the story of the whole team. You talk about a team that, 5 weeks in a row, you tell them, keep battling these things, are going to, you do this will happen, don't turn it over, get turnovers, we'll win the game. Last week it doesn't, and they just keep on grinding, don't give up the big play. They give up a big play, they go all the way down, nobody quitting, nobody pointing fingers, find a way to get a stop, find a way to make. When the one thing as a defense, that's why giving up big plays is so it kills your defense, is when the field shrinks and you're in the red zone, it's a lot tougher to move the ball. It's a lot tougher to throw passes. When you hear bend, don't break, you make them work it all the way down the field. They get to that 10-yard line. As a play caller, I mean, you like to run the ball in, but other than that, you're throwing fades and you're doing different things. A lot of times it's not easy to play, red zone offense. That's why the good teams, the great teams are good at it. But if you make them work it all the time, make them kick field goals, I'm just proud of the way that they were able to find a way at the end to get one.
You talked about big plays, and your offense had some pretty big plays too. What was some of the significance of those, just to kind of get those?
Yeah, there's a stat that, it's crazy that 100% of the time, I don't know, you could probably find one game that you don't, so I'd say 99%. But a great offensive coordinator once told me that he is 100%, an older guy that's been coaching for a long time. He's like 80-0 in wins, where you win the turnover battle and you have more explosive plays than the other team. So we talk about that all the time. We call it a double whammy. If you get a double whammy, you're going to win. And you get explosive plays. That explosive plays flip the field, negate turnovers, things like that. And we've been pretty good. We've got more explosive plays this year than we even did last year. So explosive plays, but still taking care of the football. And for 2 games in a row, we haven't turned the ball over.
Running the offense with Straub, I mean, he can obviously take off and run it, and we saw that today. But just the way you guys kind of attack South Dakota, what was the game plan?
Yeah, things changed a little bit just because Sam does things differently than Josh. The core of our offense didn't change. A lot of the same stuff, but what you can do with Sam is he can run the ball. He's a big guy. He can do some things similar to like what Mark Ionati did last year. But he also, obviously, you see that he has a really strong arm. And so, you change some things up, but we wanted we're probably under center a lot more than we have been. We have some good backs, Jonathan Mixon and Cam, and We wanted to run the football. Probably played slower. We had 94 plays, and we just the way the game went. But I don't know what the time of possession was either. But 36 to 23, and we said we needed to win the time of possession. We had the ball 13 more minutes than them. So, that was big for us.
Defense 1 of 15 on third down. South Dakota is today. How much did that help you control the clock as well?
I mean, it's big. I mean, when you look up and down the stat sheet, that's how you win football games. We're 50% on third down. That'll lead the country. If you're 50% on third down, you try to be over 40. We were 11 of 22. They were 1 of 15. We had the ball 13 more minutes than them. We didn't turn it over, and they turned it over twice. We didn't give up a sack, and I don't know how many we got. So, football team that up here dominated the football game.
Strop came out running. How much did that just kind of ease him in a little bit? Is that fair?
Yeah, I know what playing. That's what I told. He wanted first quarterback run. He never played. Getting hit. I always used to tell Coach Kill to run me in the first series. Sometimes it just feels good to get hit, and it's kind of like, okay, here goes the game. You know what I mean? You get loosened up, and he was going to run the ball anyway, so it's not like it was a good play call. And he's going to keep doing that. He's a big kid. He weighs 245 pounds, so he's a big kid, and that's going to be part of the game plans. Going forward, obviously with Sam in there, he can run the football.
Those final 2 minutes were some of the wildest football you've seen.
Yeah, it was definitely wild. I don't know. I've obviously seen games that go down and they come back and go down to the end, but not the ending of taking the players off the field. I went over there and had a conversation with Coach Nielsen, Coach O'Boyle that I became really close with, talked to players that I knew on the team, came over, got the team, started to sing the school song. That's a lot of time to be ran off to then say you got to come back and play another play. We didn't even have coaches in the press box on the last play. They're on their way down there in the locker room thinking the game's over, and they're in the tunnel. They didn't even see the last play. We didn't even have offensive players on the field. Some of them had already come in the locker room. So if we had to go back out on the field, we would have had to delay the game, wait for people to come back. So I've never been a part of that before now.
Nick, what have you tried to tell Sam, when you didn't win the position second year? How did you try to keep him up and say, hey, you never know what's going to happen. You may have an opportunity here.
You tell them that. You try to instill in your program the core values of you want every guy to have. It's tough when you hear that, and you can either go one of two ways. You can be a team player. He can't control whether we put him out there or not. So you still, as tough as it is, you still got to come to work every day. I try to create an environment where we're all a family. If you play quarterback here, you're going to buy in. You're going to be a good group. You always have probably more input than probably anywhere else because I like hanging out with them. They come in on the game plan meetings. We go to breakfast every Thursday after we do the starters together. It's a group that I really like, and you keep Sam right there in it. I wrote Sam a letter before the first game telling him how proud I was of him. I've been there before. I've been a backup when I felt like I could play. But you got to come to work every day. That's what we talk about. There's going to be tougher things in life than not playing quarterback or being a backup. And then whenever your time's called, you got to be prepared and do what he did today.
Anything else for Coach?
All right, appreciate it.